This is how to edit a killer YouTube video to blow up your channel. But pay close attention because many creators got their big break from a single video going viral. And if you can edit a video that makes it impossible for the viewer to click off, you will be able to blow up your videos consistently and finally start growing your YouTube channel. I've talked with some of the best editors on YouTube, and there's a simple formula that you can use to guarantee good retention without any crazy animations, 3D effects, or super high quality B-roll. And I've used this same formula on myself to edit videos so good that I went from 0 to 10,000 subscribers in only 3 months. So this is how to edit a killer YouTube video. All right, so the first thing that we are going to do is make an A-cut. So what is an A-cut? An A-cut is actually very simple. All it is the video that you want edited cut up. Like, it means that you've made cuts, you've taken out the parts where you mess up, and you put it together to make something that sounds actually listenable. So what you're watching right now is an A-cut. I just messed up right there about 4 times and I cut it out, but you didn't notice because it has a proper A-cut. So let's go ahead and walk through how to do that. All right, here we are on the editing software. I decided to use Final Cut Pro for this video, although everything that we talk about here applies to Premiere Pro, DaVinci Resolve, CapCut, iMovie, whatever software that you're using. Yeah, we're just gonna go through and kind of A-cut this. So what you're gonna do here is you're gonna go through the footage and find the take that you actually want to use. So let's go ahead and do that. There we go, so that's the take that I want. And what I wanna do is I wanna start this clip on the very first sound that I can hear. So I'm just gonna go frame by frame. I'm just gonna literally go until I hear a sound. So you hear that? That is the very first sound that I hear. So I'm gonna set an endpoint on that frame. So we'll go ahead and set an endpoint there. And now we'll watch through the clip, just make sure it's good. All right, so now, just like we did on the endpoint, we are going to set the out point at the very last sound that you can hear. So we'll go ahead and go through this. All right, so there is the very last sound that we can hear. It's just like a little, and we'll go ahead and set that out point. So now we just drop that in the timeline and then we just repeat the process. So let's keep going. I'll go ahead and just speed this up for you guys. Now we have 2 clips in there. So I'll go ahead and kind of do this for the first like 45 seconds of the video. Nice, okay, so I have this whole intro finished. So intro is about 20 seconds long on this video. So not too long, and again, you'll be actually A-cutting this for the full video. This is the first step in editing any video. And this is so important because if you don't do this, then your video is not gonna make sense. Like, this is the backbone to your video. And also, if you don't do the in points and out points right, it's going to be very hard for people to actually watch through because it just doesn't sound natural. It doesn't sound normal. We want things to sound fast, normal, efficient. If not, then people are gonna leave the video. So this is super important. So let's go ahead and kind of watch it a little bit through.
This is Paul Hilsey, a 21-year-old millionaire who's making $100,000 every single month from faceless YouTube channels. In the next 40 minutes, he's going to show you how to build a cash cow channel from scratch so that you can make passive income from the comfort of your own home, and all without ever showing your face on camera. He teaches you the most profitable niches, how to get monetized fast, and YouTube advice that is blatantly wrong.
We need to make this video more engaging so that people stay watching. Because when people stay watching, it raises your retention on your YouTube video, and then YouTube sees that people like that video more. Therefore, they push it out to a larger audience, leading to more views, more subscribers, and eventually you getting monetized. So very simple, very nice intro, but obviously it's a little bit boring. There's not much in here. There's really not much at all. It's just me talking, right? And that takes us on to step 2. So there are 3 ways that we can create engagement in an A-cut without adding any other elements. Those are zooms, punch-ins, and B-angles. Now what a zoom is simply when you slowly zoom in on the shot, right? And that creates a little bit more movement. It creates a little bit more just energy to the video. So let's go ahead and do that on the second clip here, right? So after it switches, we'll start adding a zoom. So how I would do that, I would go into here. I would go into scale. I would add a keyframe at the beginning of the video, which basically means like start here. And then I would go to the end of the clip and I would add another keyframe, which means end here. And then I would raise the last keyframe to probably about 106. So 6% zoom over the span of 10 seconds. So this is how that would look.
This is Paul Hilsey, a 21-year-old millionaire who's making $100,000 every single month from faceless YouTube channels. In the next 40 minutes, he's going to show you how to build a cash cow channel from scratch so that you can make passive income from the comfort of your own home, and all without ever showing your face.
Nice, so that looks pretty good. Have like a little zoom there. You could also do this with a Ken Burns effect, which is almost, it's just the same thing pretty much. So it makes it feel a little bit more like less jarring because it's more of a smooth zoom in. So you could do a Ken Burns effect, This is built into Final Cut. I'm sure they have it in Premiere as well. Then just basically just drag that and then just boom.
He teaches you the most profitable niches, how to get monetized.
Yep, perfect. So you can do that. I wouldn't recommend doing it on every clip. I would recommend spacing it out a little bit. Like you noticed I spaced this one out by one clip and then I added that second zoom and then I didn't do it for the rest of the time. So actually I probably will do it on this last one because we're going to, it's the end of an intro and the end of an intro should always end on a zoom or something like that. Something to like raise the energy before the video starts. And now what we can do is add a punch in. What that means is essentially just zooming in on my face. But there's something that you have to be very careful of here that if you ignore, it can be extremely jarring to the viewer and make them instantly click off. And that is called an eye level cut. Now, not a lot of people talk about this, but it's actually so important for audience retention. So this is definitely really important to learn about. Let's go through and do it. All right, this is a perfect one. All right, so we'll go ahead and crop in. And you could do this a multitude of ways. You could either do the crop on Final Cut, just like the manual crop. Another way that you could do it is just scale up without adding a keyframe. So you could just scale up to like 109, but actually I would probably punch in a little bit more. I'd punch into like 130 and then just raise it on the y-axis. So now this is what that looks like.
Niches, how to get monetized fast, and YouTube advice that is...
Now, one thing I want you to notice here is the actual area of my eyes when it shifts from screen to screen. So clip, 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 clip. If you notice this, my eyes are in the exact same place. All right, so I added this line so you guys can see the actual level of the eyes. So if we go here, or no, right here where it's about to be cut, right here, what I can do is I can raise this to the eye level on the last frame of the last clip, and you can see that when I cut, my eyes are still on this line. So actually I could be a little bit better about this cut and move it slightly up to where my eyes are exactly. Now that is exactly what I'm talking about. That's an eye level cut, and the reason why you want that is because the viewer is looking at your eyes when they're watching a video. And when you cut in, you need to make sure that they don't have to like readjust their eyes on the next clip because you're gonna be doing a lot of cuts. So you want the viewer to have a very easy viewing experience, and part of that is making sure that the eyes, the place that they are looking, is not jumping all over the screen. And this actually is super important, way more important than most people think. Eye level cuts are a game changer for retention. So we can even do this on the out cut, so making sure here that we cut to eye level. And then this next cut needs to come down a lot. So now we can go here. So now we have an eye level cut. Boom, 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 boom. So now if we remove that, this sequence looks way cleaner than it would otherwise.
Ever heard of putting your face on camera? He teaches you the most profitable niches, how to get monetized fast, and YouTube advice that is blatantly wrong.
Now that's a very good example of a really smooth eye level cut. So we just have 3 shots getting tighter, tighter, tighter. At the end of an intro, that's especially good because the tension at the end of an intro should be going up, and that means we should get closer, 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 and then cut, right? And then go into the normal video. So that's exactly what you want. You want to, those eye level cuts, super important. And that also applies on a beat angle. So let me go ahead and show you guys what I mean by that. All right, so we found that clip. We can just go ahead and cut that same clip. So now we have a B cam, which just adds more shot variety to the actual edit. And you can put this throughout your entire edit. Again, I'm just doing an example on an intro, but there's actually so much more that you can do with this. What we want to look at here is we also want to do an eye level cut. On this one, it's a little bit different because my body is in a completely separate place than here, right? Like my body's on the other side of the screen, which could be a little bit jarring. So what we can do here is actually crop in on this next one. We can just crop in a lot. And now we have something more in the center. So let's go ahead and do an eye level cut again. All right, so we're gonna take this line. Now we wanna make sure that this is in the same place. So we'll go up here and maybe we wanna move this even a little bit more over here. Again, our eyes are in the exact same place. This is exactly what we want. And this is just gonna make it feel so much smoother, so much better, so much easier to watch for the viewer. So now we have a fully A-cut video that's a lot more engaging. It has, you know, zoom ins, punches. It also has B cameras. This is a phenomenal start to a video. Like before even adding any other edits, this is going to make your edits so much more engaging. Another reason why we actually do all of these things like the zooms, punch-ins, and B cams is because we want to mask the cuts. So every time we mess up and we have to make a cut, we don't really want people to know that we messed up, right? Imagine if a video was like, hey, I am going. It's like, no, it's not, it doesn't work. If there's just too many cuts, it doesn't work, right? The reason why we do this is to basically hide the cuts. So people think that we're just punching in because we want to emphasize a point, emphasize a thing that we said. People think that we just put a B cam because we want it to be more engaging. But the real reason is because we messed up. That's a way to hide those mess ups. And it's just a really good way to make the video feel way more natural without having a bunch of like cut, 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 cut. Now the next step that we need to do is actually make sure our audio levels are good. So on this video, it actually looks like they're doing pretty good. You really want to look at this line. So let's go ahead and go in here. We can go ahead and just make this bigger, just to demonstrate it a little bit better. So you can see all the audio waves on here. So you can see if I drag them down, they're all gone. If I drag them up, they're all too high. How to perfect audio levels is we want the audio to be between -6 and -12 when I'm talking normally. So there can be points where it goes up to 0 and even past 0, but the majority of the video should be between -6 and -12. Obviously not when I'm like having a quiet section like this, but you want the majority of the video just on average to be between -6 and -12 dB. Right now it is averaging around -6 to -12. And what I would do is actually just detach the audio just to make it a little bit easier. So you could just copy this -1, then just highlight all these other ones and then just paste it. All right, so we just copy and pasted. You can see every single one is at -1 now. And you don't really see much yellow. You might see a little bit, like there's a little bit of yellow, like right here, where it goes over the -6, but that's okay. A little bit of peaking is fine, as long as it's not like too loud to where it's like absolutely blowing out the microphone. So as you can see, we have like a little bit of yellow here too. That's fine. It doesn't matter. As long as the majority of the video is not having yellow lines, and especially not having red lines, then we're all good. All right, so the next step is actually what makes our video really engaging. What we're doing now is just making it as engaging as we can before we add anything else. But now it's time to add the fun stuff and actually make the video come to life by showing what you're talking about. You know that classic saying, show, don't tell? Well, this is where we bring it in, and this is where we start adding B-roll. And when you understand how to add effective B-roll, you can not only increase your credibility, but make the edit so much more engaging so that people want to come back for more. You can develop your own editing style, and then people can recognize that. Like we have our own style on Amplify. This month we're posting a bunch of content, so we're not editing as much. But normally we have tons of animations that are really our own, right? And a lot of B-roll that's really identifiable. Now, that's exactly what you want to create on your channel. So let me show you how to do that. There are a lot of types of B-roll, whether you film it yourself or you go to a website. We're just gonna go to a website today, but if you have, shots of you working, shots of you testing out the latest iPhone, if you're doing a video about iPhone, that's all B-roll or other clips that you can add into your content to make it more engaging. But for the sake of this video, I'm gonna show you where to find a really good stock video. So let's go ahead and look up pexels.com. This is not sponsored, by the way. They're completely free. I don't get anything from this. They're just a good company that has a bunch of free B-roll. So you just wanna go to videos and then just look up whatever it is that you actually want to put on the video. So let's see what I say here and see what kind of B-roll we could put.
This is Paul Hilsey, a 21-year-old millionaire who's making $100,000 every single month from faceless YouTube channels.
All right, so $100,000 every single month from faceless YouTube channels. So we could do money, boom, download this B-roll, and then we do have YouTube channels, or actually faceless YouTube channels, which is more like an anonymous person. So we could put like anonymous. Another thing that we could do is put hacker. Yeah, like something like this could really work. Yeah, this looks like a good piece of B-roll. So now that we have both of these, we can just go back to our edit and start dropping them in. So what we can do here is when I start saying $100,000, right when I start saying 100, that's exactly when I want to put that in. So I'll look for the exact actual frame that I say that. You have to be very particular about this stuff. All right, so there's the point where I say, like 100. So I actually like to make a separate event usually just to organize my footage. So we can just take both of these clips, drop them in there. Now we cut that. Now we drop this here and then cut it when the video cuts. And this is another way to mask a cut too, because if you have B-roll and then you cut to the next clip, it doesn't look like you even messed up. All right, so right there we have passive income. Nice. So now we have passive income from the comfort of our own home. So again, the key principle behind this is instead of just saying those things, we're actually showing them through the use of B-roll, and that's super powerful. It's gonna make your videos way more engaging, and it's something that honestly, like every editor knows what B-roll is, but so many of them just don't add it. Like they don't add as much as they should. There should always be more B-roll. And also notice how I'm adding a variety of clips. I'm not just adding one clip. If I say like making money from the comfort of your own home, I add money for money, home for home. Nice, so now we have a little bit of B-roll in here. This is looking so much better. So let's go ahead and watch it through one more time.
This is Paul Hilsey, a 21-year-old millionaire who's making $100,000 every single month from faceless YouTube channels. In the next 40 minutes, he's going to show you how to build a cash cow channel from scratch so that you can make passive income from the comfort of your own home, and all without ever showing your face on camera. He teaches you the most profitable niches, how to get monetized fast, and YouTube advice that is blatantly wrong.
So now that we actually have this B-roll here, we can remove this eye level cut. I actually prefer this. Just go back here, 0, boom. So that looks a lot better. And by the way, this really works. This intro that I edited got 100,000 views, and it just uses very simple B-roll that I got from Pexels and music, sound effects, and that's it. Like, it's very, very simple and a basic A cut. There's no animations, there's nothing crazy here.
The world of dropshipping just changed forever. With the rise of AIs like ChatGPT, dropshipping is getting more and more competitive. If you don't learn how to use it, you're going to get left behind. These are 3 key things that you can use ChatGPT and other AI softwares to help grow and make your online store more profitable.
And by the way, you always want this B-roll to end right when you cut. And that way you can have a very clean cut. Now, the next things that we are going to do is add music and sound effects. All right, to download a song, you could just go on YouTube and then like look up like, you know, intense song, no copyright. This is probably a good one. Yeah, like I could use that song in the video. For me, I'm just gonna go to Artlist since I already have a subscription there. Really easy to do. I'm not sponsored or anything. They're good, I would recommend. Go to the music section, just grab some music. Let's do like intense. Okay, let's do like intense classical. These are all way too intense. All right, perfect. So this one sounds really good. We can just go ahead and download that one. Music should really generate a feeling. So when you're editing, you want the music to really add to the video. You want it to generate emotion and a feeling to basically heighten the way that your video feels. So if you're going into a more chill section, then you have chill music to just chill it out and make it really, really nice and comfortable for the viewer. Or if you have like an intense intro like this one, you want more intense music to heighten it even more. So let's go ahead and add that in. We can just add it in the B-roll for now. So just start right here. All right, so you'll notice something. This is way too loud.
This is called a 21-year-old millionaire who's making $100,000 every single month.
But it's the right vibe. So all we have to do is just drag down the audio. Boom, that looks great. That's literally so good. So now our edit is looking like this. This is how you want it to look. This looks really good. I'm actually gonna change this, just make this smaller. And then basically what we are going to do now is add sound effects. So what do we have here that we can add sound effects on? We can add sound effects on the money. There's 2 monies. So we have money, and then we have a kind of like code and a fireplace. So let's go ahead and do that. So we do money. By the way, whenever you get a sound effect, you want it to be a different sound effect than the last. So like if you have 2 monies, you don't want to have the same money sound effect. It just doesn't sound good, it does not sound professional. So you want to make sure that you're doing different sound effects over time. Doing this really will make your B-roll come to life, especially if you're adding text in there as well. You can like make little swipe sound effects when you have text. It just makes it so much more dynamic and so much more interesting for the viewer to watch. I would argue that sound effects are probably like one of the most important things when you're editing. And a lot of people overlook it. So let's go back to our timeline. And now we can go ahead and add these in. So we have old cash register, flame, money. Okay, so this is the one for the cash register. This one goes here, this one goes here. And then we have the fireplace as well. So we can just go ahead and add that in here, cut that right there. Now what we can do, these are going to sound really jarring. So if we watch this, it'll not sound good.
Millionaire who's making $100,000 every single month from Faceless YouTube channel. In the next 40 minutes, you can make passive income from the comfort of your own home.
Right, so that does not sound good. So what we want to do is basically soften these sound effects, which means like basically just making them fade in and fade out. And you actually want to drag this so it kind of overlaps a little bit. That really just makes it feel a little bit better. Basically just like lets the B-roll like naturally come in instead of just like boom, B-roll with sound effect. And this one also just needs to be quieter. So now let's go ahead and see how that looks.
Who's making $100,000 every single month from Faceless YouTube channel.
This one still needs to be quieter.
Millionaire who's making $100,000 every single month from Faceless YouTube channel. In the next 40 minutes, he's going to show you how to build passive income from the comfort of your own home, and all without ever showing.
Boom, that's way better. I think this one doesn't work, so we'll go ahead and get rid of that one. All right, camera died, we're on the computer now. See how these sound effects just add so much to the video. And this is really how you wanna edit your entire video. Like do this throughout the entire video. It'll take you a while, but this is so worth it. And there's only one step left, and that's actually audio blending. So as you can see, like we go from like nothing right here, no audio, to like a big pump in audio. So how we want to do that, this will make your videos sound so much better, and I guarantee so many of you guys are not doing this right now, is just taking this audio, dragging it, taking this audio, dragging it, and now you want to fade it in and fade it out. So just fade it in just a tiny little bit. And a secret, if you have multiple clips that are the same like decibel level, you can just copy this and then just paste it across all of them. So now that I'm here, I can just paste this here, and now all of them have a fade in, fade out. So this will just make your audio sound so much better, so much cleaner. You'll never have any pops or anything in your audio. It's just way better overall. So let's go ahead and watch the final thing.
This is Paul Hilsey, a 21-year-old millionaire who's making $100,000 every single month from faceless YouTube channels. In the next 40 minutes, he's going to show you how to build a cash cow channel from scratch so that you can make passive income from the comfort of your own home, and all without ever showing your face on camera. He teaches you the most profitable niches, how to get monetized fast, and YouTube advice that is blatantly wrong.
Boom. So much more engaging than what we started with. This is just a million times better, and I can guarantee you, if you edit your YouTube videos like this, they are going to get so many more views than if you just edited them, adding some random B-roll, some random music, random A-cut. The thought process behind this is really how you should think about editing. How can you show things with B-roll? How can you make that B-roll come alive with the sound effects? And how can you make the overall viewing experience very satisfying and easy for the viewer? Once you master those things, you will never have to worry about getting views on YouTube again. And that's exactly my goal with this channel. And editing is really just the first part. And that's exactly why I made a free YouTube course with over 12 hours of content breaking down everything you need to know to grow to your first 1,000, 10,000, or 100,000 subscribers. So check out this video right here where I show you how to get access, what you'll learn, and how you can use what's inside to absolutely blow up your channel. Thanks and have a great day.